Well, good afternoon everybody. It is the 8th of January and I've made it to Oklahoma. I just got camp set up. Let me give y'all a quick little tour here. I've got the jumping jack trailer. I don't know if y'all have seen these, I'm sure you have. But it's a pretty slick setup. It's on a trailer there. I carried my side-by-side on top of it. Go inside here. Got plenty of room for 4 people to sleep. There's just gonna be 2 of us, so it's really roomy. Got a Mr. Buddy heater, and that's an electric heater. I have my Honda generator. I'm gonna run that Honda generator at night for that ceramic heater to keep the tent warm. Got my side-by-side with me. There's other people at camp here. Quite a few people at this camp. We're going to be deer hunting and duck hunting. Deer season goes late in Oklahoma for archery, and then it's kind of the peak of duck season right now. So hopefully some birds are here, and tonight I'm going to go out and glass for some deer, but right now I'm going to look for some ducks. Let's get to it. Well, Reed made it to camp. Say hello. Whoa.
Take it off.
No, what do you say?
It's your boy Reed.
There. Oh, brother. Reed made it to camp a little early. A little earlier than I thought, so we're going to go look for some more ducks. And then about the last 30 minutes of daylight, get the spot and scope out and try to find some bucks. Ducks and bucks. So that's what we're about to do. Well, me and Reed are back at camp. Didn't find any more ducks. We're about to go out and start glassing for deer now. I'm going to take the spot and scope out. And hopefully try to catch these deer on some sort of relatable pattern. The problem on this property that we've had is we'll see something happen, and then the next day they do something completely off the wall different. But we're hoping that late season cold weather is maybe going to keep them more consistent here over the next couple days. So we found some ducks today, drove around, found a couple good groups. Tomorrow we're going to go hunt them, and tonight we're going to glass for deer, see what we can find. So they're coming out of the trail. Yeah, look at all this deer coming out down there. That brush pile will be the spot to be. There's a buck on the far left. Keep him left. No, I saw one more. Keep moving left. No, I would just freeze it. 2, 3, 4 does. They're going to the other side of that. Go back over here. This is the buck out here all by himself. He's got a doe to the right of him. Pretty good one, look. Yeah, it's just that slick 8. That's another little buck with him. It's another little slick 8 point. Wait till he rests his head. Yeah, he might just be a little 6 point. Okay, so our big boy came out. A buck we call Curly because he's got this curly tine coming off of his main beam. he's big. He came out about where I expect him to come out. Where, how many years now have we seen deer come out of that willow patch? 4?
Yeah.
4 years now that we've seen deer come out of that willow patch and have not been able to seal the deal yet. Extremely frustrating. So, a wrecker drove in. One of the guys' trucks in camp broke down, and a wrecker drove in, and as soon as all these deer saw that car coming, gone. So that just goes to show you they've been shot at from the road before. Saw a bunch of ducks flying around as well, but Curly making his appearance has stole the evening's entertainment. So we're gonna get back to camp, get the heater fired up, eat some food. I brought my portable DVD player. I'm gonna watch some Whitetail Adrenaline and just get us all kinds of jacked. You don't even know what's about to happen. Reed's life is about to change. He has no idea. Whitetail Adrenaline will change your life. So we're gonna get out of here. Good evening. Saw a lot of deer. This is what I wanted. I wanted to see where the deer were coming out. We've got 2 good locations where deer are coming out. Curly was spotted. We know where he's coming out at, but tomorrow he could come out on the other side. Who knows with these deer? But we got something to move on. We're gonna try to stay warm tonight. We'll see you on the morning duck hunting. Whew. Well, good morning, everybody. We are about to get the waders on, hop in the side-by-side, and head out to duck hunt this morning. So it's a cold one, about 27 degrees. Good clear skies. The ducks ought to be flying. So we will see y'all in the water. Well, we killed 1 duck this morning. The GoPro, I still got this. My beard looks black. The GoPro lasted all of like 2 minutes. So I guess the cold weather got it. So we didn't get our 1 duck kill on footage. So I'll show y'all a picture of that duck right here. Went around looking for some more ducks, didn't find many, so we're back at camp. Gonna take a siesta and then go out and deer hunt this evening. Well, good afternoon. Me and Reid are headed out to deer hunt. He's taking the side-by-side around. I'm gonna hunt down there by the river, down there. I am walking down through here. I'm gonna hunt this tree line here. That's where the big buck came out last night. Historically, the deer have bedded in those willows, and that's where he came out of last night. Tonight is just gonna be all about if the wind is right. If the wind is right, I have a chance. If the wind is wrong, I don't have a chance at all. So it's supposed to be northwest, which would be perfect if it has the westerly hint. But if it's just north, it's no good. So we're gonna get down there and find a place to set up. That's what we're after right there. That's a big boy. I'm testing the wind and it's close. It's gonna be close to right. Very close. This wind is really frustrating. It won't do anything consistent. I can't sit here with this wind. I gotta move. I gotta go back around to the other side. I just can't sit here with this wind. Well, basically, the wind sucks. So, I'm gonna hope that I can get lucky. That's all I can do. So I heard deer back in the water back there, and I'm pretty sure they smelled me. I really do. I think they smelled me. Because I could hear them, and it could have been pigs too, because it was kind of sporadic, so it could have been pigs, but I never saw them. But I didn't see anything other than the deer that, you know, were out closer to you.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything until about 10 minutes of shooting light left.
Yeah.
Maybe 5 minutes of shooting light left. And sure enough, that big 9, I'm pretty sure it's that big 9. Or just another 8 or 9 point. That, you know, whatever. Just another good 120, 130 inch deer.
Yeah.
Comes out at the point of the willows where we usually sit. Like, would have been a chip shot if we were sitting by that old dead tree that we used to sit by.
Yeah.
And he's walking dead away from me pretty quickly. So I don't hesitate at all. I just grab my bow and start running. And every time he stops, I stop. But he's not turning around. He's still just going away from me. And I'm gaining ground, like pretty seriously gaining ground. He stops, I stop. He stops, I stop. And I'm waiting for him to get over that lip in the field. And then I'm just going to haul butt and catch up to him. So I get to about 90 yards behind him. I started like 200 yards behind him.
Yeah.
I get to about 90 yards behind him, and he's just about to go over that lip. And that's when I see all the other deer.
Yeah, that gaggle of
like 30 of them.
slick heads.
Like 30 of them. And he's looking at them, and they're looking at me. And then he's looking at what they're looking at, so he starts to look back towards me. But I drop below the dip, and he can't see me. But he stands there for a couple minutes and really burns my light. So then he starts walking again, and I'm getting as low and fast as I can get. And he finally sees me move, and I ranged him at like 70. But all I could see was his head. I wouldn't have taken the shot anyways, but
It curved. You could have curved it over the hill.
I could have curved the bullet.
Yeah.
The trajectory would have been great, yeah. But so I got to like 70 yards on him. I got it on the GoPro. I don't know how much of it you'll be able to see on the GoPro. But so then I walked back and got my stuff. And that why I met you further up the road is I didn't want to walk straight past all those other deer because they never spooked. They kind of watched me and looked at me, but by the time that they were figuring out what I was, it was dark. And then that other buck that you saw driving out was beelining it this direction too. If I wouldn't have essentially spooked that 9 point, he was going to come right up here past the island, and he was going to start walking towards the dairy barn.
Interesting.
He was going towards the dairy barn. Either that, or he was going to come up to that mott of trees and come right up here down this fence line past camp. Because they've seen him in the dark.
Oh, really?
Too.
Out in pecans?
All right. Now you.
Man. Covered is the adjective I'd use. It's an adjective, right?
Covered?
Yeah. Is that a verb? That's an adverb.
It's an adverb.
Yeah.
We went to school.
Yeah.
Your mom goes to college.
Man. So, like you, I had that wind thing walking in. It was coming over my shoulder at a northeast, and I was like, good, I'm going to sit in this spot. I get to that spot, it's coming from the northwest. I'm like, okay, I'm going to move to a different spot. So I'm inside the tree line, and I have these two trails coming out, left and right. I got a pretty good setup. I was behind.
I saw you were behind that like fallen over tree.
Yeah, I even like grabbed a bunch of like Johnson grass and kind of threw it in front.
With the right wind, that spot would probably be pretty killer.
I mean, it was a great spot for where I was, but the wind just wasn't helping. The other one's coming out, it was really slow, and then I had 6 does come out to the north, way out there by the Polaris where I parked it, which was odd.
They came out even further north of the Polaris and walked down the tree line, and then they got to the Polaris and were just like, oh!
Yeah.
But they didn't run away, they just kind of ran back down the levee and into the flats.
Yeah, and then I saw 6 other deer, 5 does and a smaller buck. come out about 200 yards away, and I was glassing them, and then I heard the worst sound. I heard a, and I looked, and 20 yards away is 2 does just looking me right in the eyes. And I'm just like, okay, well.
Where do you think that little slick 8-point came out from?
By where that feeder is.
By where that feeder is?
Yeah. So they came straight out. And so I was like, okay, well, these deer, I was thinking about making a play on it anyway, just because I wanted to shoot something. So those deer, the 2 that busted me, they run off. As soon as they run off and get clear, I start moving north towards them. There's a huge fallen pecan. You know that one?
Yeah.
Huge fallen. I have that between me and them. So I'm making my way up there, and those stupid slickheads come back out behind me, see me blow. Those deer run off. I'm like, okay, well, this is probably good. I got plenty of light left. There's like an hour left of light. So I get situated in my spot. I got a good shooting lane towards the east.
Did you get underneath that limb?
I got on the east side of the trunk.
East side of the trunk, okay.
I should have took a picture. But like it's there's a bunch of scraggly trees over here, and then it's open towards you.
Yeah, I've sat there before.
And so I kind of sat there. I had it to where I could pretty easily just kind of raise up and draw on that one shooting lane. And sure enough, those does come back out. The doe with that little buck. And I mean, they were just boogered for some reason. I mean, I don't know. I think it might have been the crows, honestly, because they seemed kind of fine. They didn't know I was there. And as soon as those crows come, I mean, they were just running for no reason.
Were you watching all those ducks?
Yeah, there's a huge group of teal that flew by too.
Yeah, but there was that group of mallards. They were landing out in that water out in the middle of the field, and there's a bunch of them down here in this hole too. I don't know if that's where we should hunt in the morning.
I don't know. I mean, they were just boogered. I mean, they were in range. I mean, they were in range from 20 yards to 60, just all running around. That little buck was kind of chasing one. I think it was a hot doe.
They were just two. Sometimes it's fun to see a lot of deer, but it's easier to kill just one deer.
Oh yeah.
But when you got a bunch of them like that.
I mean, I finally, I picked out a big doe. It's like, okay, I'm going to kill her. She starts walking right in front of my lane. And then just for no reason,
It's got to be the wind.
Just gone. No, there's no wind.
But that's the problem, though. You get that, there's no wind, so that your scent just kind of lingers in the air.
Well, no, like she took off and looked north. She wasn't looking at me. She didn't know I was there.
She was just something else.
She was just being a little doe.
Good choice of adjective.
And so I was just covered. I couldn't move from I couldn't raise up at all.
That's happened to me in that tree before. Like, there's so many does that you can't shoot the one that you want to shoot.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great spot. They're just...
I think we need to put a hay bale blind.
Yeah.
Out there. I think a hay bale blind would just be dynamite.
Yeah.
In that spot.
Maybe, but there's no other hay bales out there, so...
But periodically there are hay bales.
Oh, does he hay it? I thought it was just corn.
No, that little section where the tree's falling over,
yeah,
he cuts hay there.
Oh, okay.
That's why that grass is different. You can see there's a pure, like a transition from Johnson grass to plowed field.
Oh, yeah.
That Johnson grass between there and the wood line, probably like that acre, or 2 acres maybe, he cuts hay right there. And all underneath the pecan trees, he cuts hay. Because you remember when we were out here hanging cameras back in the summer, and that grass was like head high?
Yeah.
He cuts that and bales it up. So I think a hay bale blind would... I think a hay bale blind kind of around that fallen down tree, because it would help with your scent too.
Yeah. But they weren't coming. They were coming out from the south. They weren't coming out from that trail, from the 4-wheeler trail.
They were coming out
from the woods.
From the woods to the southwest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I thought they were going to come out.
But
and with a north wind,
Yeah, you just can't hunt that area. That's the way she goes.
Tonight on Mountain House Specials with Reid. Explain to me your dish for the night.
So today we're going to the wild countries of Germany
Stroganoff, yeah.
with a hand-picked beef, choice cuts
Choice.
that go into
Not
this,
prime. Choice.
heating contraption. It's kind of like a sous vide.
Ah.
And from there we get handmade pre-cooked noodles. And that's all mixed together with some sort of beef flavor stock. So you pour like some special mountain filtered water after you boil it, of course.
Oklahoma mountain filtered water.
Yeah, straight from it.
Yeah.
And then you have to carefully put it in this contraption and then wait.
And then it's ready.
And then it's ready.
You know, who knew that you could have such fine cuisine here in a tent? Well, change of plans. This big snowstorm is supposed to hit Dallas tomorrow, and Reid's got to get back because he manages a big hunting and fishing club, and he's got to get back and turn all the water off before it all freezes. Plus, we got to get back to our families before this snowstorm hits tomorrow, since people in Texas don't know how to handle snow at all. So this trip's going to be cut short. It just ran out. There's more down there.
Yeah.
This trip's going to be cut short, but we're going to try to get back. So we'll catch y'all next time. Well, it's 4 o'clock. Last day of season here in Oklahoma. I'm set up in a familiar spot. I've sat around this area quite a few times. It's just a feeding area. The deer congregate here the last 30 minutes of daylight. I'm in this fallen over tree that's grown up all in Johnson grass, and I'm hoping that I'm hidden well enough. Got a lot of coverage for my phone. If I can see them pop up and draw quick enough, I'll be able to shoot them really pin me. That's what I hope. And then if they, let me show y'all. So I'm hoping that I can see them coming from right over here, and they can't see me because of all this. And then they'll come out, and then poof, or poof. If they come out over here, I've got this stuff here to hide me, and I can try to get them in the feeding area. Out here you can see this field. Out here is where they're feeding. It's just a plowed under field that's grown up in wild greens, you know, green grasses and clovers and just wild stuff. So the wind is blowing hard and kind of swirling, but for the most part it's good. I think the wind shouldn't be a problem. It's blowing it back out that way behind me. So let's see what happens. Last night there was probably 12 deer out here at 5 o'clock, and got about an hour till 5, so let's get settled. Well, just made a stock on a buck. Decided to not go with the decoy because I had some terrain to I had some cover to my advantage, and I closed a pretty good distance. And if he would have turned a little bit and walked towards me, I would have had a closer shot. But I took about a 50-yard shot, and he ducked it pretty hard. It went about 6 inches over his back. But hey, I'm proficient out to that range. If he would have stood there and took it, it would have drilled him. So we're back in the blind and gotta see if any deer read my playbook tonight, and come through here where I can get a close shot. Well, that's it for my deer season. I know it looks like I have a lot of light, but I can't see my pins anymore, so I'm gonna go find that arrow that I sailed over that deer's back and head home. So 2 seasons in a row without a bow kill. Definitely not feeling great about that, but I feel like I'm learning some stuff that I need to improve on. Number one, just slowing down, being patient, and 2, being mobile is nice, but also trying to have some prep places, because 3 times, twice this year I've had bucks in bow range where I didn't have a shooting lane trimmed. So yes, being mobile is nice, but also having some stuff prepped is nice too. So I think next year I'm going to prep some more stuff deer's still blowing at me. I got aggressive with them tonight, and they're pretty mad about it. But it's last day of season, not gonna hurt anything. So I'm gonna go try to find that arrow. Y'all, thanks for sticking with me this season. It's not a issue of seeing bucks. It's an issue of getting inside of 40 yards. And I did not do that this year. At least I didn't get a shot off at one inside of 40 yards. Had two inside of 30 that I couldn't get shots at. So I'm gonna get my stuff, go try to find that arrow, and get out of here. Y'all, thanks for watching. I'm probably gonna have some hog hunting content, some turkey hunting content, so stay tuned, and we'll see you next time.